Oldest doctor in China reveals the worst vegetable that blocks your circulation and swells your legs. Have you ever imagined that a seemingly harmless vegetable could be blocking your circulation and causing that constant swelling in your legs? Well, that's exactly what many experts have been warning about. And now the oldest doctor in China reveals a surprising detail. A lot of people think they're making healthy choices, but in reality, they're unknowingly contributing to poor circulation. And maybe it's already happening to you. How many times have you felt your legs heavy at the end of the day, or noticed your ankles more swollen than usual? It might seem like just fatigue, but there's a much deeper reason, and it starts right on your plate. One single wrong eating habit, repeated over the week, can trigger a chain of internal inflammations that make your vessels more sensitive, your blood circulate with difficulty, and your legs suffer more and more. The most impressive thing is that this vegetable is so common that many people eat it without realizing the silent impact it has on the body. But once you discover what's really happening, everything changes. If you want to protect your circulation, reduce swelling, and avoid mistakes that could cost your health dearly, this video is essential. Get ready. The truth might surprise you. Number 8. Ultra-processed cheeses. Few foods are as common in daily life as processed cheeses. Whether it's on your breakfast bread, in a weekend lasagna, or in a quick afternoon snack, they seem harmless. But are they really? When we talk about ultra-processed cheeses like processed mozzarella and cheddar, it's time to raise a red flag. These products go through an extensive industrial process that fills them with sodium and saturated fats, to substances known for their negative impact on circulatory health. And what few people know is how directly this affects swelling in the legs and poor circulation. Have you ever woken up with heavy legs or noticed ankles swelling by the end of the day? This discomfort may have more to do with your diet than you think. The excess sodium in these cheeses retains liquids in the body, making it harder for veins to do their job and compromising venous return. Plus, the saturated fats contribute to plaque buildup in the arteries, which further reduces blood flow. The direct consequence is worsening symptoms like tingling, fatigue, and even constant leg pain. For those who already deal with circulatory problems, frequent consumption of these foods is especially problematic. Even small daily amounts, over weeks, can accumulate into effects far beyond simple swelling. Studies show that sodium-rich diets are directly linked to high blood pressure, a condition that significantly affects the vascular system and encourages heart disease. In other words, a cheese sandwich every day might seem innocent, but it's far from it. Another worrying point is the type of fat in these cheeses. Saturated fats, unlike the unsaturated fats found in foods like olive oil or avocado, tend to stiffen blood vessels over time. This stiffening makes blood pumping harder and forces the heart to work more. The result is an overworked circulatory system, unable to handle blood volume efficiently in extremities like the legs and feet. This increases the risk of varicose veins, edema, and even thrombosis. The good news is there are healthy, tasty alternatives. Replacing these cheeses with less processed versions, like fresh Maillez cheese, ricotta, or cottage, can make a huge difference in daily well-being. Besides having less sodium, these cheeses are usually lighter and richer in quality protein. With small menu swaps, you can significantly reduce negative impacts on circulation and avoid the discomfort constant swelling causes. So next time you make a snack or prepare a recipe with cheese, it's worth thinking, is this ingredient helping my health or quietly undermining my quality of life? With more conscious choices, you can protect your legs, your heart, and your energy. After all, eating well is also a powerful way to take care of yourself every day. Number 7. Canned vegetables. Corn, peas, olives. The convenience of canned vegetables is tempting. Who hasn't opened a can of corn, peas, or olives to top a salad or speed up a meal? But what many don't know is that this convenience hides a big enemy of good circulation: sodium. These foods, though they seem simple and even healthy, go through a preservation process that requires a high concentration of salt to ensure durability and flavor. The result? A perfect combo for causing fluid retention and swelling, especially in the legs and ankles. When we eat canned foods frequently, the body reacts by storing water in tissues. This happens because excess sodium disrupts the body's water balance, forcing the kidneys to work harder and making it harder to eliminate fluids. As a result, the blood becomes thicker, blood vessels lose flexibility, and the heart has to work harder to keep everything running smoothly. The final effect can be felt in heavy legs, stiff ankles, and constant fatigue throughout the day. You might be thinking, but if I drain the liquid from the can, isn't that enough to avoid these problems? Unfortunately, no. Even after rinsing canned foods, much of the sodium has already penetrated the food's tissues. This means that even if you discard the liquid, the contents are still a salt bomb for the body. And if this practice is repeated often, the impact on circulation will be inevitable, especially for those already predisposed to edema or varicose veins. Besides sodium, many canned foods also contain chemical additives to maintain color, texture, and shelf life. These preservatives can trigger inflammatory reactions in the body, further worsening circulatory symptoms. Inflammation and poor circulation go hand in hand, contributing to issues like leg numbness, muscle pain, and even delayed healing. It's a silent cycle, but one that needs to be interrupted with smarter food choices. A good alternative is to choose natural versions of these foods. Frozen corn and peas, for example, usually contain less sodium and preserve nutrients better. As for olives, buying them at farmers' markets or natural food stores and desalting them at home beforehand works best. It's a simple change, but over time, it makes a huge difference for lighter legs and better cardiovascular health. If you want to avoid the discomfort of fluid retention and ensure your circulatory system works efficiently, it's time to rethink canned vegetables, your daily routine. Swapping canned convenience for fresher options is a direct investment in your well-being. After all, taking care of your diet is the first step in keeping your body running like a well-tuned machine, and your legs free from swelling and discomfort. Number 6. Seasoned instant noodles. Instant noodles are almost a symbol of modern convenience. Quick, cheap, and always on hand when hunger strikes. But behind that convenience lies one of the biggest villains of blood circulation. The problem isn't just the noodles themselves, which are highly refined and low in nutrients. The real danger is the seasoning packet. This little envelope packs huge amounts of sodium, chemical additives, and flavor enhancers that inflame the body, retain fluids, and make your legs feel heavier than ever. Have you noticed how swollen you feel after eating instant noodles? When the body receives such a huge sodium load at once, it has to react quickly. To try and balance the internal environment, the body starts retaining fluids, which increases water volume in tissues. This not only causes visible swelling in the feet and ankles, it also slows and tires out circulation. Blood has to move through narrower pathways under higher pressure, overloading the heart and compromising venous return. Over time, this seemingly simple habit can lead to leg pain, cramps, and even numbness. Another critical point about seasoned noodles is the additives in the packet. MSG, colorants, flavorings, and preservatives create an artificial mix that stimulates inflammatory processes in the body. And when the body is inflamed, circulation suffers. Blood flow loses efficiency, vessels become more sensitive, and the risk of varicose veins and edema increases significantly. If you already feel heavy legs at the end of the day, imagine the impact of eating this type of food regularly. Additionally, instant noodles are made from highly processed flours that spike blood sugar levels rapidly. These sugar spikes promote fat accumulation and harm vascular health, contributing to vessel narrowing. The combination of high glucose, sodium, and additives creates a perfect scenario for the body to retain even more fluids and accumulate inflammation. Fatigue in the legs often starts exactly with dietary habits like this. But there's a solution, and it comes through smart substitutions. If you enjoy the convenience of instant noodles, one option is to use only the noodles and completely discard the seasoning packet, seasoning the dish with herbs, olive oil, and fresh vegetables. Another even healthier option is to choose whole grain noodles, which provide fiber and help control glucose. These small swaps can drastically reduce the impact on your circulatory system, leaving your legs lighter and your body less inflamed. The important thing is to remember that, although seasoned instant noodles seem harmless, their accumulated effect on the body is anything but light. If you experience frequent swelling, fatigue, or heaviness in the legs, reconsidering this habit can be a powerful change. Choosing more natural preparations is a way to ensure your circulation keeps running smoothly, and to prevent a simple pack of instant noodles from quietly damaging your health. Number 5. French fries. French fries are one of those foods that seem harmless at first glance. Crunchy, tasty, and present in almost any fast meal, they're one of the most popular snacks in the world. But behind all that popularity lies a dangerous combination for circulation: excessive bad fats, and an alarming amount of salt. This mix directly affects how blood vessels work, encouraging inflammation, fluid retention, and uncomfortable swelling in the legs. And the more often you eat them, the more intense these silent effects become. When potatoes are fried, especially in reused oils, very common in fast food places and restaurants, they absorb highly harmful oxidizing compounds. These substances increase oxidative stress and trigger inflammatory processes that weaken vessel walls. Blood then circulates less efficiently, which makes the legs heavy, hampers venous return, and increases the risk of varicose veins. It's like circulation hitting more and more traffic congestion. Moreover, the amount of sodium in portions of French fries is significantly high, even when we don't notice it. Excess salt makes the body retain water to try to balance the electrolyte levels in the bloodstream. This fluid accumulation seeps into the tissues, causing swelling, especially in areas most affected by gravity, like the feet, ankles, and calves. If you've ever ended a day with legs that throb, know that this discomfort could be a direct consequence of food choices like this. Another important factor is the impact of saturated fats and trans fats, often present in oils that have been heated repeatedly. These fats harm the inner lining of blood vessels, reducing their elasticity and encouraging plaque buildup. Over time, this can create an environment prone to more serious circulatory problems, like atherosclerosis. The heart has to work harder, and peripheral circulation, especially in the legs, becomes increasingly compromised. But does this mean you can never eat French fries again? Not necessarily. The issue is frequency, preparation, and portion size. Baking potatoes in the oven with herbs, making air fryer versions, or even boiling them instead of frying are alternatives that preserve flavor without harming circulation as much. Less fat, less salt, and virtually no inflammatory compounds. Small changes, but enough to transform how your body reacts to the food. In the end, French fries are a classic example of how irresistible choices can become harmful over time. They might give immediate pleasure, but the price shows up later in daily leg discomfort, heaviness, and difficulty keeping circulation flowing as it should. Rethinking this habit gives your body a chance to recover and function much more lightly. And your legs will certainly thank you for it. Number 4. Instant pasta. Instant pasta may seem different from instant noodles, but the truth is, they share a central problem: excessive sodium and fats that disrupt the body and make blood circulation harder. It's quick, cheap, accessible, and therefore a common quick fix in many meals. However, this convenience comes at a high price, especially for those who already suffer from swollen legs, heavy feet, or constant fluid retention. Just one portion can hit the body with a huge impact it's not prepared to handle. When you eat instant pasta, you're consuming highly refined noodles combined with ultra-salty seasoning that directly interferes with the body's water balance. This imbalance forces the body to retain more water than it should, increasing fluid volume in the tissues. The result appears quickly: swollen ankles, stiff calves, and that uncomfortable feeling that your legs are heavier throughout the day. It's as if your body is carrying extra weight that doesn't belong to it. Moreover, many instant pastas are prepared with fats that have been exposed to high temperatures, generating inflammatory compounds that can harm blood vessel function. When vessels are inflamed, they lose flexibility, making efficient blood circulation more difficult. This increases the risk of tingling, numbness, and even constant leg pain, especially after long periods of sitting or standing. Over time, this inflammatory cycle further weakens the venous system. Another key point is that instant pasta is usually low in fiber and essential nutrients. This means it provides no support for blood vessel health. Quite the opposite. The body has to work harder to metabolize a food that contributes little to its proper function. This extra effort, combined with high sodium levels, creates a perfect storm for worsening poor circulation. The feeling of fatigue and heaviness in the legs often starts exactly from this combination of factors. But there are simple, practical alternatives to avoid these effects. Replacing instant pasta with whole grain pasta, rich in fiber and nutrients, already makes a huge difference in body balance. Another strategy is to prepare natural sauces at home, drastically reducing sodium. Adding vegetables, herbs, and light proteins also completely transforms the meal, making it more nutritious and much friendlier for circulation. Small adjustments, but powerful. Ultimately, instant pasta clearly illustrates the difference between convenience and health. It satisfies hunger but creates problems that can stick with you for a long time. If your goal is to care for your legs, heart, and quality of life, rethinking this habit is essential. Choosing more balanced alternatives is a way to protect circulation and prevent that daily heavy feeling that's so annoying. Number 3. Ham, sausages, and processed meats. Processed meats are a constant presence in quick meals. A ham sandwich, a sausage for a snack, or even a plate of sausage may seem like simple solutions for a busy day. But despite their convenience, these foods are among the most harmful for blood circulation. The main reason: an explosive combination of sodium, saturated fats, and chemical additives that overload the body, raise blood pressure, and promote leg swelling. Every slice, every bite, and every meal with processed meats can trigger effects that silently accumulate. The sodium in these foods is so high that, in many cases, a single portion already exceeds much of the daily recommended limit. When the body receives this excess, it reacts immediately by retaining fluids to try to balance the internal environment. This retention increases water volume in the body, creating extra pressure on blood vessels. The result is felt directly in the legs, stiffer ankles, swollen feet, and that uncomfortable feeling of something weighing down from inside. And all this can come from just a quick snack. Besides sodium, processed meats carry numerous additives used to preserve, color, and enhance the flavor of these products. The famous nitrates and nitrites, for example, are often used to maintain appearance and freshness, but bring a dangerous side effect: inflammation. An inflamed body struggles to keep blood vessels healthy and flexible. This hampers blood return to the heart, intensifies the feeling of heaviness in the legs, and increases the risk of circulatory problems over time. Another important factor is the high amount of saturated fat in these foods. This type of fat contributes to plaque buildup in artery walls, reducing elasticity and increasing resistance to blood flow. With stiffer vessels, blood flows less easily, demanding more from the circulatory system. Have you noticed your legs feel more tired after a day eating ultra-processed products? This is a clear reflection that something is wrong in your vascular system. The good news is there are much better alternatives for anyone looking to reduce swelling or improve circulation. Replacing processed meats with less processed proteins, like shredded chicken, roasted turkey, or even vegetarian options, can completely change the meal's impact on the body. Additionally, including fresh vegetables, fiber sources, and anti-inflammatory foods helps balance the negative effects accumulated over years of consuming these products. Thinking about cutting ham, sausage, and processed meats from your routine may seem hard at first, especially for convenience. But understanding the burden these foods place on your legs and circulatory health is the first step toward real change. By reducing consumption, you allow your body to regain balance, reduce fluid retention, and recover leg vitality, something that makes a difference every day and gives more lightness to your routine. Number 2. Pickles. Cucumber in brine. Fresh cucumber is light, hydrating, and great for circulation. But its pickled version is the exact opposite. During the preservation process, the cucumber is soaked in extremely salty solutions that ensure intense flavor and long shelf life. The problem is that this absurd concentration of sodium turns a healthy vegetable into a real trigger for fluid retention and leg swelling. It's amazing how such a small food can have such a big impact on the body's balance. When you eat pickles frequently, the body reacts immediately to the salt overload. To dilute this excess, it starts retaining water in the tissues, creating noticeable accumulation, especially in the lower extremities. Ankles that mark more easily, feet that feel tight in shoes, and calves with a heavy sensation are classic signs that something is wrong. Circulation, already naturally challenged by gravity, now has to work under even more pressure, slowing blood flow and making it less efficient. Another crucial point is that sodium isn't the only problem. Many commercial pickles also contain preservatives, colorants, and acidifiers that promote inflammatory processes in the body. And when the body is inflamed, blood vessels become more sensitive, further reducing blood transport capacity. This combination creates an environment for symptoms like numbness, tingling, and even frequent cramps. Have you noticed how your legs feel heavier than usual after eating very salty foods? Additionally, excessive pickle consumption can raise blood pressure, one of the biggest enemies of vascular health. With more pressure inside the vessels, they lose elasticity and become less capable of handling the body's daily demands. This not only makes venous return harder, but also increases the risk of more serious problems in the future. It's a chain reaction that starts with a simple side dish on your plate but can become a major obstacle to circulation. The good news is that there are ways to reduce this impact without completely giving up flavor. Making homemade pickles with less salt, using natural vinegar, and adding spices can create a much more balanced version. Another alternative is to eat fresh cucumber, which hydrates the body, helps blood vessel function, and contributes to more efficient circulation. Simple swaps can provide huge relief, especially for those already dealing with frequent swelling. In the end, understanding the difference between fresh cucumber and pickled cucumber is crucial to protecting your legs and circulatory health. Pickles might seem harmless, but their composition is anything but light. Reducing consumption or opting for more natural versions is an important step to avoid fluid retention and keep the body running more smoothly. Your legs feel the impact and will thank you for the change. Number 1. Raw turnip. In excess, turnip is a nutritious, light vegetable, rich in beneficial compounds. But when eaten raw in excess, especially on an empty stomach, it can become one of the biggest enemies of circulation. And this is exactly the vegetable the video title is referring to. Although it seems like a healthy choice, uncontrolled consumption of raw turnip can irritate blood vessels, increase internal inflammation, and worsen symptoms like numbness, tingling, and persistent leg swelling. It's surprising how something so simple can trigger such profound effects on the body. When large amounts of raw turnip enter the body, its sulfur compounds can irritate the intestinal lining and overload the digestive system. This irritation triggers an inflammatory response that doesn't stay confined to the intestines. It spreads throughout the body, and an inflamed body has much more difficulty maintaining efficient circulation. Blood vessels become more sensitive, less flexible, and more prone to microcontractions that disrupt blood flow to the extremities. Eating raw turnip on an empty stomach intensifies this impact because the digestive system is more vulnerable to direct contact with the potent substances in the vegetable. This sudden stimulus can cause abdominal discomfort, internal pressure, and even changes in circulation rhythm. People who already suffer from swollen legs, heavy feet, or a tingling sensation tend to notice a quick worsening of these symptoms. It's as if the body is forced to deal simultaneously with irritation and poor circulation, a scenario no part of the body appreciates. Additionally, excessive raw turnip consumption can negatively affect the activity of lymphatic vessels, which are responsible for fluid drainage. When these channels become overloaded, the body accumulates fluids even more intensely. This accumulation is very noticeable in the legs, which start showing persistent swelling, discomfort when walking, and even a sensation of internal pulsing. The combination of irritation, inflammation, and fluid retention creates a cycle that's hard to break. But this doesn't mean turnip is an absolute villain. The problem lies in how much it's consumed. In small portions, cooked or combined with other foods, turnip can be nutritious and even support digestive health. The key is balance. Replacing excessive raw consumption with lighter, moderate versions is enough to avoid irritation and protect the circulatory system. This way, you can still enjoy the benefits of the vegetable without putting your leg health at risk. Understanding this detail makes all the difference in daily life. Many people suffer from swelling, heaviness in the legs, and poor circulation without realizing that seemingly healthy habits could be contributing to the problem. Adjusting the way certain foods, like turnip, are consumed is a powerful way to reduce discomfort and ensure the body functions more lightly. And this simple care can completely transform your relationship with your own well-being. And if you want to keep receiving the best videos for your health, subscribe to the channel, because it exists for only one reason: to make you a healthier person with a better quality of life. Helping you is my mission. In the video appearing now on your screen, the #1 drink that reduces swelling and improves circulation in the legs of seniors, click on the screen to check it out.